Thank you. Thank you to the CCAA for holding this induction ceremony and inducting me. I'm much like you, I'm not sure how this whole process happened, but I was actually on a cruise last summer when the coaching staff from Dominguez Hills, of which my head coach at the time was still the coach. I think he since retired just at the end of last year, but they reached out to me, and on the off day that I actually had service on my phone, since we were out in the middle of the ocean, I'm being flooded with all of these text messages of congratulations and you've been inducted, and I was like, inducted into what? And then I got the news press release, and then I was just honored because I did not go into collegiate sports trying to get into anyone's record book. I played the sport because I love the sport. I was introduced to softball relatively young. I think I was about 7 years old when my mom signed me up for my very first rec league softball team, and I didn't even know which hand to put my glove on at the time. I'm a right-handed thrower, and I put my glove on my right hand, and my mom kept telling me it goes on the left. You have to be able to throw the ball with the right. And over the course of that season, I just picked up a love for the game. Even as young and clueless as I was, I just knew that this is fun. And my mom grew up playing softball, and so she took something that she really loved and poured it into me. I remember very young being in our backyard of a newly built home with a backyard that was full of nothing but dirt and rocks. And my mom would hit ground balls at me at 6 and 7 years old, like I was a collegiate player already. And I'm out there, and I've got tears streaming down my face, you know, balls hitting me in the leg, I've got bruises, and my mom kept saying, you have a glove, use your glove, that's what your glove is for. And pretty soon that kicked in, and my glove became like an extension of me. And I grew up just wanting to get better and better, and I would go out once our yard actually got landscaped, and we had a big patio area that backed up to a wall. I would take tennis balls outside and just throw them up against the wall and work on my feet and work on my hands, and short hopping balls and taking long balls and crow hopping balls. And I think around 12 or 13, I joined my first club team. I had no idea the amount of work and pressure that went into playing club ball. I just knew I love this sport, and I want to be challenged because I felt that I had outgrown the rec leagues at that point. And it was in club when I got to travel and I got to see how other girls in other areas played this sport and just how dedicated to this sport they were. And I came back feeling like I'm there, but I'm not quite there. And I wanted all the lessons. I want to go to hitting lessons. I want to see this coach. I want to see that coach. And my mom did everything in her power to make that happen. And high school, I got to the point from playing this from 6 years old clear up to about 17, and then the burnout hit. And I got to the point where I scared my high school coach because I said, I don't know if I want to play anymore. And my coach, she looked at me and she said, that's not an option. You have to play. And I said, I don't feel like my heart is in it anymore. And she told me, you need to take a breather, but you're not done. So if you need to take some time, but you're not done. And I thought at the time as a 17-year-old, she just wants me to play on her team so they can win. But I realized as I got older, it was more than that, because this sport opened a lot of doors for me. I was a first-generation college student. My mom did not get the opportunity to go to college straight out of high school, but she poured everything into her 4 kids to be able to open those doors for us. And when I was recruited by Dominguez Hills, one, I'd never heard of the school before. I didn't even know where it was. My mom worked in Carson, where the school is located, and once she found out, she said, "Oh, I know where that school is, I'll take you down there." And we went down there and I toured the school and I met the girls and I worked out with the players, and I just felt like this is home. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm glad that I stuck it out because, I mean, the accolades aside, I was able to earn my degree in 4 years. It opened the door to my teaching career. I'm a high school English teacher now. I did some high school coaching for a while, but then eventually I had my own kids and I took a step away from that because I wanted to be able to pour into my kids. My son is a college freshman now at UCR, and he's a track runner. And it's that love of my sport and the dedication that I was able to take from my mom and then pour into my son. And now be able to watch him compete at that collegiate level for the next 4 years. So with all of that being said, I thought about, I didn't want to take this induction and this award just simply for myself. I want to dedicate this award to my mom, who's right there. Without this woman getting up at 3 a.m. to go to work, an hour and a half away, to drive a bus all day long, to drive back home another hour and a half, to getting me to practices, coaching my teams, helping me with homework, getting me onto the next best team, doing any and everything that she could to make sure that I always had these opportunities, and foregoing a lot for herself to be able to get me and my siblings to where we are today, I wouldn't be here. So I want to thank the CCAA for this opportunity. I want to thank Dominguez Hills for that opportunity, but I most importantly want to thank my mom for always believing in me and giving me this opportunity. So I love you and thank you.